We breathe in light through the center of our heart, allowing the light to expand within, through, and around your body. We are a unity of light. So, what we want to revisit is what I call, we called it cleansing, but it's an aspect of cleansing within the ascension process. And that aspect is what I call the screaming souls. Screaming souls. And the screaming souls is when you have to go back and collect your souls. You may have gotten to the other side, or the end line, or the finish line. You might have gotten to the end of the war. You know, I see it like this. It is the end of the war. Let's say it's the end of the spiritual war. This war that your soul has been going through. And it's the end of it. And you're hearing the trumpets blow, and peace is coming over the world. And the light has won. The light has won. And the sun is beginning to rise in a whole new way. And you feel that peace overcome you. And maybe you're taking off your armor. Maybe you're resting by the lake. But a part of you still knows that you're going to have to go back and get your souls. You got to go back and collect your screaming souls before you can go home. And see, that's why the soldiers have PTSD. They're screaming souls. That's why we all have a form of it, or forms of it, or wounds in general. Those are our screaming souls. You know, just imagine when you're going through a war, you're going to see horrible, horrible things. You're going to experience horrible things. You're going to do horrible things. That's an extreme visualization of what I'm referring to. But each time something as that occurs, from your childhood up until your time of ascension, then your souls just detached. They couldn't handle it, and they just detached, and they're screaming in trauma, and they're detached, and they detached themselves and went back into you in a subconscious type of way, so that you can still move forward and get on with life, or with life. And if you're in that war, then that you're screaming. You've lost a lot of souls in that war. You've lost a lot of your souls in that war, where you have been harmed. The same so in life, where you have been harmed enough for your soul to detach itself, so that you could move on in the moment. And those are unprocessed wounds, where your soul is still somewhere in that unprocessed state. Screaming is the most dramatic way of it, but they are screaming. They are screaming. They are screaming, they are in shock, they are in trauma, they are harmed, they are hurt. You're screaming souls. And each time along your pathway when something shocked you in such a way, emotionally, or your spiritual body, your physical body, all of the bodies, when they were harmed, your soul just kind of another part of the soul just detached and stayed there while you moved forward. And so now, and that can also be deep, it doesn't have to be one lifetime. It could be many of the lifetimes where you have to go and collect all of your souls that are screaming. It's non-negotiable. It is non-negotiable. You may not leave this space in which our souls are learning, in which we, to move on and to ascend to a higher state of being. We may not do that until our souls are no longer screaming, and we have to go back and get them and heal them. So during the ascension process, we have to go collect our souls. We have to go collect our souls. You may be in a good space. You may be feeling that you're in a good space. And so, but part of your journey, this is what's important to understand, is that you are going to go back to those places, spaces, conditions, people that caused you to lose your souls, so that you can collect them and bring them all home back to you, and then heal them back into yourself, or release them that they may disperse, no longer needed. You see, those are also anchors. So yes, collecting your souls, and that is a part of cleansing. You have to go back and collect those souls. And as you can imagine, those are painful places, spaces, situations to revisit, to collect your soul, your souls. So you begin this journey with the beloved Mother Goddess, Father God, they're like your parents, and your spiritual guides. And you begin this journey of going back to collect your souls so that you may heal them, or so that you may release them and shed them. Each time there was a hurt that you were not able to process in any way. And so you can imagine that that's like a nightmare journey that you don't want to take. But you don't know it when you're going through it, maybe perhaps until afterwards or while you're in it. But the bigger picture is that is what is happening. And if you can see that and know that, even in hindsight, in beloved hindsight, then it can help you to heal. It can help you to heal. It can help you to take that memory, or take that stuckness, or take that screaming soul and baby them and heal them with what you know now, so that they're not there in the unconscious background, just screaming, waiting for a trigger to jump out and do what they do. But revisiting those situations that caused you the most harm, so that you can heal yourself from the process and react no more, so that you can heal those screaming souls. That's not a comfortable process, though it is necessary. It is necessary. So you will find yourself being in situations which may seem like your worst nightmare, May seem like your worst nightmare. That situation with that person that was just so horrible and awful and caused you so much harm. And then here it is, however many, whatever years later, and you find yourself almost facing the same situation. What's going on? Well, that's what's going on. You're going to go back there and you're going to handle that situation differently. And you're going to take that, you're going to collect your soul with you. And you're going to take this he or she under your wing. You take her back with you and heal her. You know, if we go back, let's go back now to the image of the war being over and you're by the riverside and you're resting, and you are, even as you're resting, you know that there are parts of your souls that you have left back there that are screaming. Yes, that's what. So you're going to, along your journey home, even though this soldier can now start their journey home, an aspect of them is going to have to go back into that war spaces and collect the souls and bring them and heal them on the way home, because you can't bring them home with you, those screaming souls, right? So that's more shadow work to go back and collect your screaming souls and to heal them, and to be vulnerable enough to allow yourself to heal yourself. If you've gone back and you've collected a part of your soul from a childhood, your child soul, that soul may need lots of parenting, and you are the parent. You are the one to parent your childhood selves back into self-love. No matter what the world thinks of that, or what that looks like, what that requires of you to parent your own self, we're going to do that. We're going to be doing that in the ascension process. We're going to be doing that. We're going to be surrendering to the process of healing our screaming souls. Because at the end of that process, there will be complete and utter inner peace. At the end of that particular ascension process, there will be complete and utter inner peace. And so, even though while it's going on, there is much tears, much emotional release of dramatic proportions of tears and pain being released, at the end of that is utter peace. So no more screaming souls. No more screaming souls lurking within you. You know, and that process may also have to occur before you, before you meet your other half. That process may occur before that, especially within, if you're in the twin flame process, whatever you want to call it, before you meet your male or female other divine holy half. That you may have to travel that part of the ascension process so that you do not bring your screaming souls into that divine partnership. It's something that I covered on Lyghtpost.com. It was a series. It was called Divine Living. Now, I'll just take this very brief moment to say, if you'd like to support my channel, if you'd like to support the blog, I would very much appreciate your donations. It's just a matter of renewing. The Lyghtpost.com blog is down right now for, financial reasons. So if you'd like to donate to the channel so that I can bring Lyghtpost.com blog back up, we would very much appreciate it. So within that, and you can donate below on the PayPal me. I'll have that information below, or also on the Instagram. Instacash app. Yes, thank you so much for that. Yeah, so there's a series on there called Divine Living, and this will be another part of that series. Maybe I should cut this up into another one. But so divine living is the big topic. If we are there in our college class and we are looking at the syllabus, then this big topic would say, or not the syllabus, you know what I'm trying to say. The big topic is divine living. And within and under divine living, there's going to be this topic. And that is that in this world that we are in right now, that I call the other world, the other world creates false needs. And their entire engine and gas machine thingy, how it works, is based on false needs. See, the true and holy truth. It is the holy truth because it is the only truth that there is in all the dimensions. It is the only truth that there is. And that is that we are provided for and that there are no needs. That we are provided for and that there are no needs. So underneath the big topic of divine living, then there is the subtopic of we are provided for and there are no needs. And the other world is solely based on creating false needs. So, a part of our ascension journey is we are, with each step that we take along our ascension journey to sovereignty and out of the other world, then we are dropping all of the illusions that we need this, or that we need that, or that we need this, or that we need that. And we're dropping it, and we're dropping it, and we're dropping it, and we're dropping it. And that's a lot of stuff to drop. As much as they are creating in that machine that runs all the time, that evil machine that runs all the time, getting you to buy stuff and to think you need this and to think you need that and to think that things have to be this way and have to be that way. And even the whole concept of money. So that brings us to that part of the ascension journey. So there is going to be a part of the ascension journey that is between you and your spiritual crew of guides and angels who are taking you along this ascension journey. And as I said, you will get different guides and angels along the way. You will have your core group of guides and angels who are your ride or dies, and then you will get new ones along the way depending on what you need to master at the time. So, you're going to come to this part of the journey that you don't get to see the sign, okay? But the sign says, now we're going to learn how to live without money. That's what the sign says. Because on the other side, in the higher dimensions, there is no money. That is a false, that is a concept that came out of that machine. And it's a program that is so very deep, that has been so very deeply ingrained in us, that it's this whole path that you have to take to release yourself from that program. And Spirit will do it. Spirit will provide it for you. It's just important to know that when you hear this, that you recognize, oh my gosh, that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at on my ascension journey. That's what's going on. Yeah. So there's going to be this part, and you don't get to see the sign. That's why this is, here I am. I'm Light. I'm standing here on this corner, and I'm letting you guys know that this post says, time to learn to live without money. And you got to go down that path, friend. But you are going to have friends. And that's a miraculous path, right? And everyone who has been on that path has walked that path during the ascension journey, because it's different. It's different. It's all different when I'm just saying, when you walk that path as part of the ascension journey, it is different because it is going to be at a level that you've never possibly imagined, really. Especially if you're listening to this, then you're probably going to be, then you are a part of a wave of leaders and way showers who are going to be living the new way and showing everyone in the way that you are living the new way. And we are creating it as we live with each of our steps. So here we go. So on that no money path that you don't even know that you're on, you may get, the positive thing is that you're probably going to get new guides to go down that path with you, to walk that path with you every single step of the way. Okay? That's the good news. Excuse me. Let's take a break. The bad news is that pathway is the eye of the needle. That pathway is when Jesus told the disciples, drop everything and follow me. Yeah, that's that path. That's that path. You got to walk on that path. Everything, like everything. Yes, everything. Everything. But the other big pro is this is so that you can see and so that you can know, like you know, that you will be provided for. If you, and what you have to do to be provided for, which is simply to maintain the frequency of believing that you are provided for in every moment. Now, knowing it versus believing it and living it are two different things. And this is the path of walking on water. That's this path too. That's this path too. You don't look down. You just stay on the moment. And then God provides in the moment. God, Goddess, she doesn't allow you to hoard. So anything that is hoarding will be removed until you go down to the very basics of just yourself and you are walking freely within the flow of the divine. You will get there. But yeah, you can't just downsize and say, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go with God. I'm not going to, God is, I'm with this. I'm not going to fight it. So let's say you give up your house and your car and your job and everything that you own. Let's say that you were just badass like that. You were like, I'm going to jump into this ascension thing. See, but it's what you think that you need. And so inevitably, there's going to be something, someone, some certain situation that you feel that you need that is going to be removed, that is going to be let go of, that you are come to acceptance of letting go of. And that brings you eventually, as you let go of the big things and the big stuff and the big stuff and the big stuff, and then you let go of the little stuff and the little stuff, and then you let go of this, you let go of that, you let go of this. Then you begin to live on the will of the divine. And unfortunately, it's like this. It's like this, and this is what my guy told me in the beginning. They said you can do this. No, they said we can do this the easy way or the hard way. And still, like 7 years later, now I begin to understand what they mean. The easy way is to just believe and live like a child. A child they just live like that. They don't really even think about lunch and dinner and all these kind of stuff. They just live. They just live. They just live in the moment. As we return to our God selves and raise our frequency, we will only begin to live in the moment. Time begins to fall away, and the moment is all there is. So back to the money path. Back to the money path. You may be in a situation where God Goddess removes along this ascension journey all paths to money. All paths to money may be removed from you until you begin to understand that no matter what you do, how hard you work yourself, that you are not going to get money, that you must rely on the beloved to provide. And each and every time, the beloved will provide. If you don't get in the way and say that it can't be done. And that is a series of painful lessons, mostly stress and anxiety. Sitting up, worrying and worrying and worrying. You can worry yourself into a state of ill health, of dis-ease. Well, we're all doing that anyway in our everyday lives now in the other world. It's affecting us. But I'm saying, along the ascension journey, it's a little bit different. Like you are literally in a space in which you cannot create money. And that you must rely on the beloved to provide. And the more that you worry and stress, the more difficult and hard that path is. And things may not be provided for because you are believing with all of your fear that it won't be. But it will. It will. And only the beloved and your spiritual guides can decide when that path of divine, when you switch over to the divine system. Only it's between you and the beloved Mother, Father, God, and Goddess, and your guides along your ascension path on when you switch over. Right? Because first there's the path where you lose everything. And if you're on that path, and then you are going to lose everything. You just are. Because that's a process that you have to go through. That's the eye of the needle. But the thing, but you're still going to be provided for. It may be an ugly, horrible path to walk, but you'll still be provided for. There's still going to be enough food. There's going to be enough of whatever you need in the moment. There's going to be enough of whatever you need in the moment. And we don't like to live moment to moment. We think it's torture and hell. We think it's hell to live moment to moment. The divine operating system works moment to moment. It also works on grace, moment to moment, faith, thankfulness, and being in the flow. All of that makes your life more peaceful. Everything other than that makes that journey hell. At the end of that journey, though, what you will have is proven pathway where you can look behind you on that pathway from this step, and then there's a gap, and then there's a step, and then there's a gap, then there's a step, then there's a gap, and that each step along the way you were provided for, that everything that you needed in that moment was given or provided by someone else, because God works through other people, and it's through serendipity and through other people and through circumstance and through in this whole magical divine system. And that is why it is divine. Operates around you to provide whatever you need when you are in alignment and in flow with that. And there is a part of the ascension journey where you begin to learn that. And at first, it could be like stubbing your toe on every single thing. You don't have enough money for this. You don't have enough money for that. No. For years and years and years, until that program is broken, that you don't have to see it or know where it's going to come from for it to occur and to just be taken care of. That is such a very difficult thing for us to deprogram from and fall into alignment with. And yet, many of us are there on walking that path. And the most important thing that we can do is affirm each and every moment along the way when we do have exactly what we need in that moment. Okay, so that was longer than what I wanted to talk about, and I didn't even get there all the way, because what I really wanted to say is that there's no money in the fifth, you guys. There's no money in the fifth. There is no money in the fifth. It doesn't work off money. So here we are. We're on this ascension path, and a lot of people are in the other world where the whole thing works on money. And you know, we've already left the 3D. It's gone. Can't stay there no longer. Gone, crumbling, can't stay there, can't be there. We left it. Now we're traveling through the fourth where anything at all can happen. But the sooner that you get on board, the idea that the beloved will provide along this ascension path for you in ways that do not involve the money. And that it is just for you to sit in, to be in alignment with that. To be in alignment with that. But yeah, so that's why we can't just go seek money. Money's going away. Money is going away. And that whole system is going away. And you all who are hearing this, and who are on your ascension path, and who are on those concentrated paths in which you are learning how the beloved provides moment by moment for everything that you need when you are in alignment, when that ray of light is coming through your light bright. So that everything is, so that there are no needs. In any moment, and in every moment, there are no needs. And anything other than that is an illusion that we are going to drop along the way of ascension. Along the way of ascension. We are going to see, because God's universe, the God of the universe, works in the now. It provides in the now. There is no need for hoarding. There is no need of stocks of this and stocks of that. There is never less than. There is always enough. And we are coming to experience, to learn how to live that within our everyday lives of divine living. that requires an aspect of you. It requires you, your temple, to be clean enough for your divine self to come and live within you. That divine self is going to live in the moment, knowing that they will be provided for in every moment. Divine living has an aspect of unconditional love and thankfulness and grace in every moment. That divine part of yourself must come to live in this body with you in all times. Yeah, so, okay, I think we're going to close that part of it up. And that part of it, again, was learning to live within divine living. And within divine living, we will release our dependency on money and the world, and we will return to Source to provide all of our needs. And that is a process and a journey that we are walking along. And as we are walking along it, if we can recognize the big picture of what is occurring, then we won't have so much drama and suffering and pain. We can just let those illusions go with the trust and the faith that, oh, this is the part of the journey that I'm on. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Well, we thank you all for joining us today. There's so much that we wanted to say, but then when we get the recording time, I just can't pack it all in. But I do want to thank you all for joining us, and I hope that you are finding joy in your life. Please go out and get some sunlight on your face and get fed your manna for the day. And know that we, the Light Council, are here with you, and that you're never alone, that we're always giving you signs that you're never alone, and that your own spiritual crew is always there with you as well, and walk hand in hand. So we thank you, and we will see you the next time around.